Welcome to Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan for the greatest all-time rosters franchise featuring the greatest Cincinnati Bengals and the greatest Detroit Lions. The best 53 of both with an additional 7 added to the preseason. This game 1 of the greatest all-time rosters preseason featuring Cincinnati and Detroit. We're underway as Larry returns to the 26th, and the former first overall pick out of Georgia takes the field leading the number ones for the Lions. That's Matthew Stafford. He made a Pro Bowl in 2014 with Detroit, then another couple with the Los Angeles Rams, and helped give them a Super Bowl title too, over Cincinnati that is. Matthew Stafford in for Bobby Lane, who will not play due to the preseason roster that Detroit has. They'll go ground with Barry Sanders, who gains a couple. Arguably the greatest running back of all time joins Stafford in this great offense. Calvin Johnson joins Herman Moore as the wide receivers. Charlie Sanders at tight end with Nick Petrosante, and that guy in the backfield for the Lions, Barry Sanders. The Hall of Famer is 4th on the all-time rushing list and in the discussion for being the best running back of all time. Stafford hands to Herman Moore instead of Barry Sanders. Maybe not the best idea, and Thomas brings him down for a loss. Leon Hall and Lamar Parrish join Ken Riley in a sensational defensive backfield. Tim Krumrie and Geno Atkins up front. This defense is pretty good too for Cincinnati, and they have pushed Detroit back to a 3rd and 11 on the Lions' opening drive of this one. Stafford with a 5-man rush, rolls right and throws to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he gains about a yard for Detroit. The Lions will punt it away as Amon-Ra gets involved. He is the Pro Bowl receiver out of USC. A new era kid for the Lions, but an incredible wide receiver, already one of the team's best. This punt is muffed and picked up by the Lions' Dre Bly. Thomas was back deep, and he just could not get control of it. Detroit gets another crack at it with the Dre Bly recovery. They'll begin their next drive with the 23 following the turnover. As mentioned, Bobby Lane is not playing tonight. It's Matthew Stafford who is the signal caller for them. He'll go ground with Barry Sanders, who motors to the 12. First down, Detroit. No matter who they have at quarterback, if Barry Sanders plays like he can, this may be a very successful season for the all-time Detroit offense. Sanders is in the block. Stafford is dumped at the 18-yard line. Trey Hendrickson brings him down. An explosive pass rusher for Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals, helping guide the Bengals to a 2021 Super Bowl berth. Pitch to Sanders, and he is taken down by Lamar Parrish for a loss. 6-time Pro Bowler out of Lincoln in Missouri with his first tackle of the game. Lions missed their last 3rd down to the short throw to St. Brown. Stafford from the 20 guns it to his left. Herman Moore makes his first catch of the game, and Hall drags him down to the 12. Detroit's Jason Hanson, 2-time Pro Bowler out of Wazoo, for the chip shot field goal out of the hole to backup Jared Goff, and that kick is good. 3-0 Lions. Hanson will kick it off left to right for Detroit following the made field goal from 29. And Adam Pac-Man Jones from the goal line races on his right side, and the flag is down to the area of holding.
Holding by the receiving team.
Rodney Holman,
First down.
the guilty party. Glad you're with us. The greatest Bengals and the greatest Lions. 53 added initially, then an additional 7 to the preseason roster for both clubs. Ken Anderson, the quarterback for Cincy, fires over the middle, and Jamar Chase has got it for a gain of 19. He's right up there along with Chad Johnson and Chris Collinsworth for the best receivers in Cincinnati history. T. Higgins, Isaac Curtis, and others round out the Bengals receiving corps. Deep ball to Chase. Another first down grab for the 2-time Pro Bowler out of LSU. Jamar Chase is on fire to begin tonight's matchup against Lem Barney, the Hall of Famer for Detroit. Inside run to Corey Dillon, and he is spilled to the 49-yard line on a pickup of 5. The all-time Bengals and the all-time Lions, 25th and 26th in the NFL in win percentage as a franchise. Anderson is back, fires a slant to Chad Ochocinco, who slips through to the 20. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And this crowd is quiet as the Bengals go nearly the entire length of the field. And Chad Ochocinco, a decorated Hall of Fame career for Cincinnati. We'll see if he gets into Canton, but he's right on the fringe of that. The Hall of Fame caliber wideout, 6-time Pro Bowler out of Oregon State. He is 38th on the all-time receiving list and one of the best wideouts of all time. Extra point is good from Shane Graham. Ochocinco, the distance on his first reception. Well, the all-time Bengals didn't win too much when he was around, Chad Johnson, along with Carson Palmer and others, with Marvin Lewis at the controls as Barney returns to the 23. And that really has been the story for both of these franchises. Mixed results in the win column. Detroit has won 45.4% of their games. Cincinnati 45.5%. Sanders is in the block. Stafford guns it over the middle to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he is spun down to the 28-yard line on the pickup of 5. The Bengals and Lions have combined 17 playoff wins and 0 Super Bowls. Detroit has never gotten there, but Cincinnati has made it to 3 Super Bowls, 81, 88, and 2021. A 5-yard hitch route to Calvin Johnson, maybe the best receiver, not just for Detroit, but maybe in that entire division. I mean, he is just so talented. Calvin Johnson, a shoe-in first ballot, 6-time Pro Bowler out of Georgia Tech. Stafford checks it down to another Hall of Famer, that is Charlie Sanders, a gain of a yard. Matthew Stafford has begun the game 5 of 5. Detroit down 4 with under a minute left in the first quarter. Nick Greisen handed to Ford Field. Stafford against the overload blitz, flips it over the middle. Calvin Johnson's got it, and he's spun down at the 50. And that's how the quarter comes to an end. Johnson of the Lions driving down 4. In the greatest all-time rosters preseason, the number ones of both teams will play the first quarter, the second stringers play the second quarter, and the third stringers play after that. Jared Goff is the second string quarterback for Detroit. He hands to Dutch Clark, who gained 7. Now, this is the interesting part of the preseason. There are about half of the teams in the league playing 4 quarterbacks. So for those teams, they do not have their number ones play the opening week of the preseason. That's Bobby Lane for Detroit as Goff completes the box for 12 and a first down. So Detroit is bringing in their number 2, Matthew Stafford, to begin, and then they have a quarterback battle, and the winner gets the 3 spot. Jared Goff is facing Greg Landry at quarterback for Detroit in this preseason. And Goff looks ready for a trip to the regular season. If he wins that battle, he makes it to the final 53 all-time Lions roster. He completes a first down pickup to the 22. Some drive here from Jared Goff in Detroit. He's back on a first down, flips it over the middle, and is nearly picked off. Gail Cogdill was the intended target. Jared Goff, the Pro Bowl quarterback out of California, notably began his career with the Rams and was part of that Stafford trade over to Detroit. Goff is back, guns it downfield, and he finds his man, Gail Cogdill, to the 1-yard line. But that was close. Cincinnati challenges this. He got right by the coverage that time, and certainly is out of bounds, as we see here. His left foot was out. Wipe out the pass from Goff to Cogdill. 3rd and 10 at the Cincinnati 22, and this crowd is beside itself. Cincinnati out of a nickel package defensively. Goff from the gun against the blitz finds Cloyce Box, who's wrapped up at the 6-yard line. He was the star receiver for the best dynasty in the franchise's history, the 1950s. First and goal, Lane was the quarterback for them too, with Cloyce Box out wide. Goff overthrows Cogdill in the end zone. Now, in that Stafford to Goff trade, very few could have imagined Goff having the type of career he's had with Detroit as a Pro Bowl player. But he has certainly been one of their best. Goff throws into the end zone. That's a touchdown to number 86, Jim Gibbons. And that caps off a masterful drive led by the ones, and then the twos come in led by Goff, who delivers the go-ahead touchdown. 5:32 left in an exhilarating first half out of Ford Field. Jim Gibbons with the score. Yale Larry's the kickoff man, as the number 2s are in special teams as well, but he drives a good one to Ochocinco at the 2. He gets a block and races to the 26-yard line. Dick Night Train Lane with the stop for Detroit. The all-time Bengals are led by, of course, the likes of superstar Ken Anderson and company. Boomer Esiason is the new quarterback for them, and he pitches to James Brooks at games 2. Their quarterback room is led by Ken Anderson, but Boomer Esiason is currently the listed 2, and Joe Burrow is set to play the second half for the all-time Bengals as the third-string quarterback. James Brooks in the backfield. He'll get the call and is stuffed immediately by Rufus Porcher. 3rd and 9 after that run. Cincinnati has an interesting running back battle, too, with an extra preseason player, Joe Mixon. Esiason against the blitz. On a 3rd and 9, he finds Isaac Curtis near the marker. This is too close to call, so the officials will bring out the chain gang to measure this one, and they say no. Curtis just a little bit short. Midway through the second quarter out of Ford Field, 10-7 Lions. Ochocinco went 51 yards for the game's first points. And Detroit has crawled back into the lead as Jared Goff found Jim Gibbons. Short punt, as mentioned, the place kickers switch into punting position, Shane Graham. It is a bit of a glitch, and you'll see a little bit of that also in the preseason as some cornerbacks wind up being wide receivers. First down from the 39, a draw to Dutch Clark. He slips a tackle, and Clark's got the first down all the way to the 42. And speaking of that, Jamar Chase made the tackle. This is not a glitch for the regular season, but in the preseason for Madden 12, there is just that little hiccup. First down to the 42, and it's only at the cornerback spot. Goff out of the gun, flips it over the middle to Dutch Clark. He is wrapped up at the Cincinnati 34-yard line. Some performance by Jared Goff leading the way for the Detroit Lions, who have been around for 94 seasons in the National Football League and have never really had that blue chipper at quarterback since Bobby Lane, but have still been a successful franchise. Not a lot of postseason success, but they have had some great players. Calvin Johnson, we saw earlier, Barry Sanders. On defense, they're loaded with Hall of Fame talent. Dutch Clark is buried for a loss. I mean, he just almost had the handoff taken from him that time. Dutch Clark, the Hall of Fame running back out of Colorado College, slated to be the backup to Barry Sanders. Goff is in the block. He looks, hit as he throws, jump ball, and that's out of bounds. 1:29 left in the first half of this one. The preseason, all-time Bengals, all-time Lions. They need the 16 for the first down. With 2 tights, they'll pitch it to the right for Clark, and he goes backwards. So they'll use a timeout. In comes Yale Larry for the field goal. This one from 51 yards following the Clark run. Out of the hold of Greg Landry, the kick is up. It's right down Broadway, and it hits the post and is good. That is some kick for a guy that's known as a punter and a safety. He can place kick as well. Incredible kick from Yale Larry. This one's belted to Adam Pac-Man Jones at the 1-yard line. You spill to the 24. That is where the all-time Bengals begin their next drive. Cincinnati, 2 different seasons out of their 56 years in the National Football League, have been the best offense in the NFL. They have some outstanding players on offense, but none of them in the Hall of Fame yet at the skill spots. Esiason is taken down for a sack. Loss of 9 for Boomer Esiason, who was part of their best season in franchise history, the 88 year where he won MVP. Esiason is sacked again. I mean, he just had no time to throw it and gets dumped. The sack by Brown, and that'll back them up to their own 8-yard line after the timeout. 59 seconds to go in the second quarter. Esiason feeds Joe Mixon. This is his first opportunity, and he is buried at the 10. What is so cool about the preseason is that an additional 7 players joined the 53-man roster, and for those fringe spots, made the best man win. Joe Mixon battling with Cedric Benson and Rudy Johnson for the final running back spot on the roster. It should be noted, we'll see him later today. Tyler Eifert is competing at tight end as Christensen returns the punt to the 33 with 48 seconds left in the half. Eifert competing with Jermaine Gresham for the tight end spot for Cincinnati, the final one on the roster. First down to the 33. Goff with a 4-man rush. He's taken down. Very little pass protection on both sides. Tim Krumrie, 2-time Pro Bowler and an 88 All-Pro out of the University of Wisconsin with the sack. Goff on a 4-man rush. Shoots it towards the end zone, and there's Golden Tate. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff has shined in the preseason. He is certainly impressing the coaches now with his outstanding performance in the second quarter. This one, he's only had about a dozen snaps, but has made the most of it with 2 touchdowns, one to Jim Gibbons and the other to Golden Tate, who began his career with Seattle and helped guide them to the Super Bowl alongside guys like Doug Baldwin, Sidney Rice and company. Adam Pac-Man Jones to the 5. He races to the 27. Golden Tate pretty good too. His only Pro Bowl selection was in 2014 with Detroit. And joins a very talented list of receivers on the all-time Lions. Cincinnati at their own 27. This could be their final play of the half. 4-time Pro Bowler James Brooks with a flag down. Dances to the 33-yard line, a run of 6. Isaac Curtis, 4-time Pro Bowler out of San Diego State, is the guilty party. And certainly now Cincinnati will be compelled to go into the half down 20-7. They do have 2 timeouts. Lions bring the heat. James Brooks on the call. Wrapped up by Sue at the 18. First half in the books from Ford Field in Detroit. Jared Goff trying to work his way onto a regular season roster. He did his part, leading Detroit to 2 touchdowns. Lions lead it 20-7. Game 1 of the all-time rosters franchise preseason. 4 total weeks to determine the best 53 players and the overall depth charts of every franchise in the National Football League. Ocho Cinco from the 2. And he's hammered by Hall of Famer Joe Schmidt at the 24. 10-time Pro Bowler out of Pittsburgh. Joe Schmidt, one of the best middle linebackers in NFL history. First down, Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, the new QB. He flips it to his left for Dillon, who gains 7 on his first reception. Now, while we also have the conversation of who's going to make it onto the rosters, there's also a few quarterback battles that are being worked out right now. And Joe Burrow lobs it to his right. Jermaine Gresham, he's got it for the first down. If Burrow shines in the preseason, he may compel the coaches to be the backup behind Ken Anderson. I mean, he's competing with Boomer Esiason. Joe Burrow, the Pro Bowl quarterback out of LSU. He'll go ground with Cedric Benson, who gains a yard. Justin Durant makes the stop.
1-yard gain on the play.
We'll see what Burrow and the Bengals can put together in the third quarter. The number 3s are in for the the entire second half. Burrow to Collinsworth. 23-yard strike to the wide receiver, certainly known for his excellence in broadcasting, but also a sensational receiver during his day. Collinsworth, the 3-time Pro Bowler out of Florida. Burrow completes out of the right side to Gresham, who gains a couple, and the officials say, yes, Jermaine Gresham is in bounds. Joe Burrow, how about that? A 4-for-4 start with 46 yards for this offense. He has his teammate T. Higgins split to the offense's left. Burrow is back on a 3-step drop, flips it to his right. Gresham slips a tackle. First down to the 20, and he's taken down to the Detroit 19. 5 for 5 for Joe Burrow tonight. 3 completions to Jermaine Gresham, the 2-time Pro Bowl tight end out of Oklahoma. Burrow against the blitz, fires to Isaac Curtis, who's taken down to the 3. This is some drive from Joe Burrow. The best quarterbacks on the field tonight have been Jared Goff on one end and Joe Burrow on the other. Both are earning their spots into the final 53 for the all-time franchises. Cedric Benson buried at the line of scrimmage. Second and goal from the 3-yard line. Goal line package for the Bengals. Burrow waits for the snap. He hands to the fullback, Jermaine Gresham, who doesn't get very far. Taken down by Jim David at the line. Bengals have gone ground to begin their goal line sequence, 2 in a row. Third and goal from the 3. They go run again, and Rudy Johnson is in for the touchdown. His first carry, a good one. He played with the Bengals from 2001 to 2007, making the Pro Bowl once, and in fact finished his career with Detroit. So an interesting trip back to Ford Field. The extra point is good. Detroit leads Cincinnati 20-14. Rudy Johnson with the touchdown. And here we go. Kickoff. Deep but returnable. Jim David from 2 yards in the end zone brings it out to the 23, and that is where the third-string Detroit offense begins this drive. 2:55 left in the third. They just watched Burrow and company go the distance. To the field for Detroit, Pro Bowler out of the University of Massachusetts, Greg Landry. Deep drop. Landry looks, hit as he throws, deep shot, and that is incomplete. Greg Landry played nearly a dozen seasons with Detroit, making the Pro Bowl in '71. In 1970, he was not only a good quarterback in the league, but helped Detroit to a rare postseason trip as Landry completes to Billy Sims, and he's got the first down on the gain of 15. Greg Landry was shut out in that game 5-0 at the Cowboys. A sign of things to come for this franchise. They just have yet to find much postseason success at all. Landry completes the screen pass here. Sims in the open field, 50. And is run out across the 40. An incredible catch and run. Billy Sims, known for his excellence in the 1980s, a league-high 16 total touchdowns in the 1980 campaign, and is the running back for the third-string Detroit offense. Inside run, Sims powers his way to the Cincinnati 29. Nick Rice in hand, under 2 to go in the third. Detroit 20, Cincinnati 14. Greg Landry calls signals. With Sims in the block, he's looking, throwing over the middle. Golden Tate, fresh off of the touchdown. His second catch is good for the first down. One of the best defenders in league history. While he never made a Pro Bowl, he was in on the stop there. Ken Riley, Hall of Famer out of Florida A&M, is 5th on the all-time interceptions list. Sims gains maybe a yard with Vontaze Burfict vying for the final linebacker spot on this Cincinnati roster. He makes the tackle for the Bengals. This may be the final play of the third for Landry and the third-string offense. He's back to pass. He gets rid of it short to his left. He took a big shot and airmailed that one out of bounds. I mean, he didn't have much time to throw at all for Detroit. And, of course, Greg Landry is fighting with Jared Goff for the final quarterback spot for the all-time Lions. Landry to the end zone for Golden Tate. If Tate can catch one for Goff, he can for Landry too. Touchdown, Detroit. What a play. Golden Tate deep for the touchdown. And with 6 seconds left in the third, Detroit's going to keep the offense out there to extend the lead to 14 with a conversion. Sims gets the handoff, heads to his left, and is in, standing up. Two-pointer is good. Good one out of Ford Field. Deep kickoff, but returnable for Isaac Curtis at the 3-yard line. Caught and dropped at the 22 by Jim Gibbons, who scored the touchdown from Goff, one of his 2 in just the second quarter. A chance for Burrow and the third-string Bengals to respond. First down, Burrow under duress goes deep downfield. Incomplete. He had a man out there, Chris Collinsworth, but it's incomplete. 8 minutes to go. A good one out of the preseason. Detroit up by 2 scores. Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter and a good one. Game 1 of the all-time rosters preseason with Charger Dude 95. Nick Grice in hand. 2 incredible touchdown throws from Jared Goff. The headline tonight as Burrow airmails that one. This is a team in Cincinnati still trying to work out the quarterback position, but Burrow slated as the third string right now, vying for the player of the game with Jared Goff. It's been a good start for both. Burrow goes deep. Collinsworth may have had a touchdown if he had better look at the sideline. It's incomplete, and Cincinnati will punt this one away. And as mentioned with the preseason, the kicking and punting is reversed after the first quarter. It'll change for the next preseason game. Shane Graham sends this one a little short, reeled in by Larry at the 44, and he'll set up Detroit with good field position to the 41-yard line with Jermaine Gresham on the stop. The starters will play the first half and then the backups in the second half in next week's preseason games. But right now, it is just the third stringers in for the second half. A short gain for Billy Sims, the 3-time Pro Bowler out of Oklahoma, earning Pro Bowls in 80, 81, and 82 for Detroit. 2nd and 8. Box, Cogdill, and Tate are the receivers. Landry throws a screen pass, and it might have been better off that Sims dropped it, as there was Bengals all around that pass. 3rd and 8 after that incompletion. Bengals threaten blitz. From the 39-yard line, Landry is back to pass. Pressure's coming. He goes deep. Jump ball in the end zone. And Tate couldn't quite come up with it. Good coverage deep by Leon Hall. 56-yard field goal here. Larry could all but put this one away if he converts. Good hold from Goff. The kick is up, but appears to be short, and it is. No good.
The field goal attempt is no good.
Tough break as it gives Cincinnati some good field position for their next drive. And that one wasn't particularly close. So on first down, the Bengals will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And if they want to get back in the game, they may need points now. Cedric Benson on the call, gained 6. Not much going for him on the ground. Cincinnati will run a no-huddle to try and shake things up. Early movement.
False start, offense.
A rare penalty.
Repeat, 2nd down.
It's now 2nd down and 9 following the false start. The Bengals get back up on the ball with about 6.5 minutes left in the ball game. 4-man rush. Burrow stands in, fires over the middle to an open Rodney Holman, a member of that Super Bowl appearing team, AFC champion in 1988. Rodney Holman, the 3-time Pro Bowler out of Tulane, with the grab. 1st and 10 at the 42. Inside run to Benson, his 4th carry of the game. Another guy vying for a final roster spot for Detroit. Ezekiel Ansah made the stop. Burrow fires downfield, and it is caught by T. Higgins. Touchdown. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, an electric 1-2 tandem at wide receiver for Cincinnati in the 2020s, and he goes deep for the touchdown, beating Calvin Johnson. I don't know what he was doing out there. Nevertheless, 28-21 after the score to T. Higgins. His first grab of the game is the touchdown. Well, Joe Burrow was one of those aggressive quarterbacks, a gunslinger for Cincinnati, and helped turn around that franchise, nicknamed the Bengals. David returns to the 26-yard line. 5:48 left in a barn burner out of Ford Field. Detroit 28, Cincinnati 21. Greg Landry and the third-string offense trying to secure the late lead. Inside run, and Sims is decked. Trey Hendrickson has had himself a game. It's a loss of 4 on the call to Sims. Trey Hendrickson, also a new era player for this offense, or for this defense, that is. Drafted in 2017. Sims yet again caught and dropped by Hendrickson, the 2-time Pro Bowler out of Florida Atlantic, helping guide Cincinnati to the Super Bowl after his first year with the team, formerly with the Saints. Gibbons with a flag down. Here's the call. That penalty on Lou Creekmer has been declined. Domata Peko with the tackle. 4th down, and Detroit brings in the punt team following the 3-and-out. Jason Hanson gets rid of this one. Drives it deep, and that is fair caught by Adam Pac-Man Jones. Cincinnati, in the midst of a valiant comeback effort, is just 49 yards away from a touchdown to tie it. Detroit 28, Cincinnati 21. They'll begin the drive on the ground. Here's Cedric Benson. Caught and dropped at the 43. It's a gain of 5. Cincinnati may need to score on this drive here. They have just over 4 minutes to do it at the 43. Lions bring a 3-man rush. Burrow fires to his right, and that pass to Collinsworth is incomplete. The receiver and quarterback didn't appear to be on the same page that time. After the incompletion, Cincinnati faces 3rd and 5. Burrow with a quick drop this time, flips it to his left, and it looks like he led Joe Mixon a little too far. That's incomplete. Or Corey Dillon, actually, not Joe Mixon. 4th down. Cincinnati, after the 3-and-out, has brought in Shane Graham of the punt team. It should be noted Graham is 17th on the all-time field goal percentage list, as this one's returned to the 23. He is a very good kicker for them. Pro Bowler out of Virginia Tech, Shane Graham, when Cincinnati gets things going with the regular season of the all-time rosters franchise. Detroit should be exciting with Bobby Lane, Calvin Johnson, and Barry Sanders, but the third stringers led by Landry are in. Slant to Cloyce Box, hammered by Peko on a gain of 7. 3rd grab of the game for the 2-time Pro Bowler out of West Texas A&M. Detroit is trying to milk some clock here as they can win the game on offense. 2nd down at the 30. Inside run to Sims, who squirts through a hole. There goes Sims in a foot race, taken down by Hall. A 23-yard burst for Sims, who has otherwise had a nightmare game, but he does move the chains with under 3 minutes to go. Golden Tate and Cloyce Box are the receivers, but they may not get another look for the rest of the game. This is the final play before the 2-minute warning, barring a penalty. They'll keep it on the ground with the tailback, and Sims lost it, but Gibbons recovers. Big break as Keith Rivers jars it loose. So now with 2 minutes left in the ball game, Detroit leads 28-21. Sims. Timeout after the short run here. A first down would win the game. 3rd and 7. Doak Walker is in at running back. Landry tries to throw it to him, but it's incomplete as it hits one of his linemen in the helmet. So now Detroit's going to bring in the punt team after that run. 4th down, and Jason Hansen sends away a low line drive punt. That is out of bounds at the 17. Adam Peckman Jones. Good one of the preseason. Detroit 28, Cincinnati 21. The Bengals, Joe Burrow, the gunslinger out of LSU, needs to go 83 yards with 2 timeouts. He'll go ground and is stuffed by Ndamukong Suh for a loss. The Bengals begin the drive going backwards. 2nd and 13, they need a bit of a miracle here. Burrow over the middle to T. Higgins, who just caught the touchdown timeout after the pickup of 12. 3rd and a yard to go. High drama from Ford Field. Here's Joe Burrow trying to win a roster spot and also guide a comeback. He's going deep, incomplete. Higgins the target again. So before they want to convert with a touchdown, they need to move the chains on a 4th down as they need a yard. Goal line package. This for the game. Burrow with a deep drop. He's looking. Throws the Gresham first down to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 10, and Cincinnati will hang on to its final timeout. What a finish of this preseason game. First down to the 36. Burrow guns it. There's Tyler Eifert trying to make a regular season roster for the all-time Bengals. That's a good way to do it. A first down pickup to Eifert. Burrow flips it to his left. There's Tyler Eifert again, and he's out of bounds. Nope, they say inbounds on the gain of about 9 to Tyler Eifert. And Burrow has clocked the ball here with 47 seconds to play. Eifert played with the Bengals from 2013 to 2019, making the Pro Bowl once for Cincinnati. Career 2,152 yards with Cincy in 7 seasons. Higgins over the middle. First down pickup to the 31-yard line. Not too surprising, he's been his favorite target as they were on the same team in the 2020s. Burrow clocks it again with 34 seconds. Some drive from Joe Burrow, vying for a better spot on the depth chart with Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason in front of him. From the 31-yard line, here's Burrow. Against the 3-man rush, he completes to Higgins in traffic for the gain of 5. The Bengals are moving, but they are coming up short on time here. 21 seconds left. Burrow looks, fires over the middle. Collinsworth makes the catch, and Chris Collinsworth scores the touchdown. What a football game tonight. Cincinnati comes all the way back. Extra point to tie it, and it is good. 28-all with the end of regulation. Detroit and Cincinnati headed to overtime. Welcome back. Following the kickoff return, the third-string Bengals offense received to begin overtime. Next score wins. First down, they'll go run. Cedric Benson hurdles to the line of scrimmage where Dre Bly makes the stop. A valiant fourth-quarter comeback for Joe Burrow in Cincinnati to force overtime. Second down from the 19-yard line. Lions bring the blitz. Burrow is taken down for a Porcher sack at the 12. Following a false start, Cincinnati has 3rd and 23 from the 7. On the opening possession of overtime, Burrow drops into the end zone. He's looking and is taken down for the game-clinching safety. Tough break as Burrow was immediately under duress and taken down by Porcher to end the game. A thrilling preseason battle. Golden Tate shined, and the all-time Lions win it 30-28 in overtime. For the rest of our crew, I'm Nick Grice saying so long. This is the all-time rosters preseason. All-time Lions win it by 2.